We're grading everything at the bye week for Ohio State. How about the best assistant coaching job so far? Stephen, Nathan, Doug. Nathan, who's your best assistant of the first half?
A lot of really good candidates. I'm going to go with Al-Washignton for what he's done with this linebacker group, specifically what he's done with Baron Browning, somebody who, go back a year and I think did not feel comfortable, was not really enjoying playing football, and a lot of it was his relationship with the coaching staff at the time. And now look at the contributions he's making. Look at the way that he has, helped guys like Tuff Borland and P. Werner and Malik Harrison kind of get the most out of their skills. It was a group that I think specifically on a defense that was much maligned was very, very much maligned as to how they performed last year. And right now, pretty consistently, they're coming through on a weekly basis.
Steven.
I'm going with Jeff-hafley. There's three corners that they use basically: Shaun Wade, Damon Arnett, and Jeffrey Okudah. Cameron Brown played a little bit for Damon Arnett when he went out. Obviously, we don't know what's going on there, and we won't know yet. But those cornerbacks are playing so well. Jeff Okudah has alluded on multiple times how important Jeff-hafley has been in his development as a cornerback this season. And Jeff Okudah was a 5-star guy, but I think Hafley is playing a huge role in why he's going to be a top 10 pick.
I was waiting to see who you guys picked. I'm going to give a shout out to my main man, Greg Madison, who speaking of much maligned, who I have questioned since he got here. Why did they hire a guy who was a 13-year coach at Michigan? The whole defensive staff is doing a really good job. Greg Madison deserves mention with those guys in doing a really good job. So you're doing a really good job, Greg Madison. But I'm going to say Greg-studrawa because that was a guy that I wasn't sure would be back on this staff. I think he had some recruiting shortfalls in recent years. I questioned, the offensive line played really well in the Michigan game last year. I'm not sure they played great all year long. They are playing really well. And Ryan Day has talked about Greg-studrawa and how well he is coaching that group. They are talented, but it is 4 new starters. I think he's brought them together in a really good way, and it just feels like the offensive line was in a really weird spot for a while there. They had to fill some late spots in last year's recruiting class. They took a lot of underrated guys in this year's recruiting class. You wondered who was going to play this year. And the offensive line, both in the present and for the future, just feels settled all of a sudden. It doesn't feel like you're panicked about the offensive line the way maybe you were 8 months ago. And that's a credit to Greg-studrawa. I think it was a knock on him when they got to that point. It's a credit to him that things feel much more stable there now. There's a lot going on. So keep watching cleveland.com.